I want to talk a little bit more about some of the other ones just really briefly and talk about sort of 4 kind of ones that I keep coming back to really, which is reMarkable, Scribe, Supernote, Boox. Not in a deep kind of comparison way, but I want to just talk briefly about, we've been talking a little bit this kind of ease of use versus features thing. And way back when I used to put things on a little matrix like this and like features like this, right?
I mean, I think the way you listed it out there is already in order.
Yeah, right. Yeah. It is, yeah. reMarkable is this kind of, it's very easy to use, but it's not highly featured. Scribe, again, well, it's probably easier to use and actually has less features, I would say. It's an interesting one because Scribe is better for your readers, really, isn't it?
Yeah, and I do think Scribe's a little easier to adapt to than the Supernote.
It is, but it's also like, than the Supernote. Yeah, it's also just like sometimes with the Kindle operating system, I'm like, what's going on here?
Yeah, I mean, I like, even when you're just like in a note and you want to go back out, to have to swipe down and then go back is like, it feels counterintuitive because there's also, you can like swipe from the bottom, and it's just, I think they need a better cohesive kind of like gesture interface. I don't know exactly how they do it, but it could be simpler. Like the reMarkable, you're like, boom, back in the last page I was in. Even the Supernote, I think like just having that quick swipe where then you have your quick menu system is more intuitive than the Scribe.
So the Supernote's somewhere in the middle, really, which is why we often keep coming back to it as sort of balanced device, really. It does seem to be that kind of way. It's often, I'm not going to put it slap bang in the middle, but probably, it's probably still on the low features end, really, and still towards ease of use. And the Boox, maybe something just, there's always more that a thing can do, isn't there? But it's definitely this less easy to use end. And I don't think that's necessarily something they can remedy in a way, because if you want to have an open Android sort of system with lots of choice and control, it is going to be on this lower, less easy to use. But this is something that I still think is worth coming back to, this idea of think about what type of user of tech are you? Do you need something super simple that's just going to get out of your way? But remember, it won't be able to do everything that you might want to do.
Quick question for you. The Boox, I haven't used a Boox device, but I do use Android. So like if I were to get a Boox device now, do you think the learning curve would be significantly reduced just because?
If you're an Android user,
so that's a stipulation, I guess.
You don't have much of an issue. It is a different skin on top of Android, but every Android essentially works the same, and you find the same menus and things. If you're a confident user of Android, then if you're happy to work your way through things like that, then definitely you'll be fine. I also just want to say, I would notice in drawing it like this is really who's going to move their devices into this quadrant of this? Who's going to be able to do this well, to really find this really high featured device which is still easy to use? That's the opportunity here. That's the
gap, yeah.
For somebody, if you're watching this, if you're a developer,
fit that quadrant.
Yeah, that's what we want to see.